Hey everyone, it's Miss Guy, and we are embarking into Unit 2 for Session 7. Session 7's topic is deviance and social control. And we've got to loop back into our section on culture in Session 3 in order to begin talking about what deviance is. So your textbook is going to define deviance as the violation of norms or rules or expectations. And so that term norms, the violation of norms, what does that mean? Well, we're going to circle back to our session on culture and remind ourselves that we learned what the term norm was in that session. And the book defines norms as an expectation of right behavior, and right being in quotation marks there. So the expectation of a particular type of behavior is what a norm is. And when you violate that, that becomes an act of deviance. So one thing that I like to point out in this particular session is the fact that in our current social climate, we use the term deviance in a criminal sense, and that is not how sociology uses the term deviance. So in sociology, we talk about deviance as being the opposite of expectations of behavior. So anything that is out of the social norm is deviant, and I'll give you an example. If you go camping in the woods and you pitch a tent and you light a fire, nobody is going to look at you weird, okay? Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but nobody is going to look at you and go, why is that person pitching a tent in the middle of the woods and starting a fire, okay? If you did that same thing on a city sidewalk, if you pitched a tent and started a campfire in the middle of a city sidewalk, you'd likely be looked at funny. People would be glancing, whispering. Somebody might even call the police because your behavior is so out of the norm, your behavior is so not expected that it's likely going to turn some heads. And so that would be a deviant behavior. Now, in this particular sense, there is probably some sort of city ordinance as well against that type of deviant behavior. And then you would follow that whole chain into a potential criminal issue. But another example would be if you are at a beach or a pool and you see someone walking around in a bathing suit, you don't think anything about it. Well, if you are at a mall or in some sort of store somewhere, grocery shopping, and you look up and here comes somebody wearing only a bathing suit, that is going to be odd to you. That would be considered deviant behavior. So there's a couple examples of the term deviant, and I hope that is helpful to you as you get started this week. You are going to dive into Chapter 8, the Deviance and Social Control chapter, and that will be a combination of quizzes 8.1 through 8.6 and the Chapter 8 quiz. And as a reminder, make sure that you are going back to the top of our Moodle page in this textbook and course information section, and you are clicking on that textbook reading and quizzes access link in order to get into Pearson Revel to do your chapter reading and quizzes. The second item for Session 7 is going to be your Deviance Journal. This is going to be just like the other format of our journals. You're going to watch a crash course video. This particular crash course video is all about deviance. And then you have 3 questions to answer once you get done watching that video. Please remember that formatting is important and it is part of your grade here. So you're going to copy the format process between the dotted lines. You're going to click Start or Edit My Journal Entry. You're going to paste my formatting into the entry box. When you answer the question in full paragraph form and proofread it and make sure that it is college quality writing, you are going to change only what you typed into a different color font. And that way, your eyes are quickly able to see what you have contributed to the journal and what the format process was. All right, there are 3 different questions here, and I am going to expect a paragraph for each, especially heavy on the paragraph for the first question and the second question. Make sure that you take time to expand on your answers, be thorough in your explanations, add suggestions, add examples, add reasons for your thought process. These journals are reflection assignments, and so I'm looking for a deep reflection here on the topic that we are covering for the week. When you are finished with your Deviance journal, you are going to click that blue Save Changes button in the bottom left-hand corner, and that is going to submit your journal entry to me for grading. Please make sure that you are aware of your deadline and that you are working ahead of schedule. That way, if something comes up and you don't have a lot of time, your work is already done. And as always, if you need me or you have questions or concerns, I am only an email away. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that everything is great and you are well aware as to what you are doing and you feel comfortable with the content.